Blog Talk Radio.
Alternative facts.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified objects of unknown intent and unknown origin were detected at high altitudes over multiple locations of Earth's outer space by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, and these objects are presumed to be some form of controlled aircraft. It is not known if more of these aircraft will arrive, or if they will attempt entering Earth's atmosphere. United States citizens are encouraged to monitor local media outlets, as more updates will follow as information becomes available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attacks by the undead have been reported in several states across the country. The dead are rising from their graves and are attacking the human race. At this time, it is expected that more attacks of this nature will occur in several other states in the next few hours. The intent behind their attack is unknown at this time. He has been observed that a bike or exchange of fluids is a method of transmission. This is an extremely dangerous situation if they crave the taste of human flesh. It is not known whether this event will last for hours, days, or even longer. Stay calm, as authorities have been dispatched to deal with these creatures. An all-clear siren will be sounded when this situation is under control. Pacific Standard Time, nor is detected a long-range nuclear missile launcher. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of all residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host, Rodney, the Viking Shortridge. I want to give a big old shout out to the Facebook paranormal groups that allow us to post our shows on their pages and helping us to get the word out about all of our guests. If anyone would like to speak to Black Diamond Paranormal Society, BDPS, to discuss your paranormal questions or issues, go to our website at blackdiamondps.org or email blackdiamondps@yahoo.com. As always, our services are free.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by calling 516-387-1922, or you can go to the Vibe Radio Network website at blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. For deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to my cousins up in Ohio, Jennifer and Joe Shortridge of 222 Paranormal. If you get a chance, check out their talk show. You can find them on Facebook under 222 Paranormal.
Have your devices just randomly stopped working? Are you having IT trouble? Not to worry, Mead's PC Repair Shop can help. We also offer IT support too, including website hosting. We are now also offering full event management services. To find out more, contact our friendly customer service team who will gladly help in any situation. Just call 276-880-8900, or if you prefer, you can stop by our shop at 1089 St. Clair Street, Oakwood, Virginia 24631 by appointment only, or by visiting the website at meadspcshop.com for more information. Thank you.
Phantom Fest 2019 is hosted and sponsored by Black Diamond Paranormal Society, Blog Talk Radio within the Chaos and Elk Garden School Community Ministry. The Phantom Fest is geared for the like-minded and enthusiasts and researchers in the fields of the paranormal, UFOs, cryptozoology, comics, horror films, gamers, cosplay, metaphysical, spiritual, artists, authors, ancient civilizations, tattoo artists, unexplained mysteries, superheroes, FX horror artists, steampunk, costume contest, sci-fi and so much more. The fest offers a unique and interesting outlook on the abnormal. The Phantom Fest will be held on November 2nd, 2019 at the Russell County Conference Center 139, Highland Drive, Lebanon, Virginia. Starting at 10 a.m. and going to 6 p.m. Tickets are $7 per person, ages 0 to 6 are free. 4 tickets can be reduced to $5 per person with 2 non-perishable food items, to be donated to the Elk Garden School Community Ministry to help families during the Thanksgiving season. Any non-perishable food donations will be happily received. Also, we will have a free costume contest for all ages. Guest speakers, returning this year, Bill and Chris Reap of Reap Investigations, giant researcher Heather Arnold. New to this year's Phantom Fest guest speakers, Dave Spinks, Ron Whitehead, Jake Fife, Chad Zumwalt and Whitney Benson, Amy Green, Barry Gaunt, Cosplay Bridget Baker, CNC Paranormal Investigations, Dennis S. Block, Geo Origis Girls Heather Taylor and Micah Taylor, Haunted MD Donald Molnar, Lucky Belcamino, Michelle Wagner, and Rebecca Smoot. Special appearances by Cosplay Bridget Baker, Martial Arts Christian Yaya Thompson and Token Nihilist Cosplay, Arthur Stump, Grace N. Lehman, Raphael Bertiz and the Whiteville Ghostbusters. Find us on Facebook Phantom Fest, www.facebook.com/PhantomFest. Our website, www.phantomfest.org. Our email, phantomfest1@yahoo.com. For more information, please contact Rodney Shortridge at 276-970-1456 or Josh Mead at 276-880-8900 extension 1259.
Well, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Let's get this party going. Tonight, our special guest is Mark Antony Raines, a.k.a. Ghostman. Mark is a podcaster since 2017, and on his show, he covers paranormal activity, UFOs, conspiracy theories, Bigfoot, cryptozoology, and aliens. Mark is a published author with various free books which he produced and wrote mostly horror stories such as Just a Nightmare, Freddy and Freak Horror, Host Horror Stories, Curse, Time Travel is Happening as we are existing. Mark is also a cartoonist. You can see his cartoons on an online magazine, Gonzo Weekly. So, without further ado, it's my honor to introduce Mark Antony Raines, a.k.a. Ghostman. Oh, let me click him on first.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Hello?
Are you there?
All right. At least I got the right day today.
Look, what he's saying there, he's been quite excited to come on the show.
Yeah, I got the wrong day, folks. I rang him up yesterday, which is obviously okay. I'm in the future, but I thought I went back to the past And I went back to the future to be back on your show again.
Well, at least you got it right this time.
Yeah, I got it right this time. I get there eventually.
That's me. I know the feeling. So, sir, could you, first off, how you doing tonight? And can you tell us a little about yourself and what got you into writing?
Well, it's not where you are and morning where I am. It's gone 6 minutes past 3 in the morning here in the UK. So, hi from the future. It's nice over here. It's a bit dark, and I'm looking at the clock. Anyway, hey, this is me. Right. I have had a near-death experience in my life. Some time ago, I was in a coma due to I had a blood sugar levels of 124. If you look it up, it's not very nice. You could end up being dead. So I was rushed from ED straight to ICU, where I was put in an induced coma for 3 weeks. And during that time, I experienced hearing a woman's voice I've not heard before or since. And this voice told me to wake up. I had the most overwhelming feeling I've ever had in my entire life to wake up. And then I woke up, and I know lots of people have told me the theory about it could have been a nurse you overheard, or it could have been my imagination, my brain playing tricks on me. But I seriously believe this was my guardian angel or my spirit guide, whichever way you want to take it. And also, whilst I was in my coma, I reckon that I was not in the real world or the next world. So that's why I like to call myself aka Ghostman, because for 3 weeks I didn't exist on this planet. You could tell me the Martians landed and I wouldn't know nothing about it.
Well, I unfortunately, I understand what you're talking about. I went through that last year. I went through a sickness and almost took me out, so I understand what you're saying. Well, what could you tell us about each of the books that you've written without giving away too much about them?
Well, basically, I started writing because I thought my friend of mine helped me write a book called Cartoon Occult Martial Arts, and in it I basically supply the martial arts sides of it, and I supply the illustrations, so you can see my little drawings of people doing various jab crosses and things like that. And it's basically, what we've done is combine the world of occult with the the art of martial arts.
Oh, okay.
And basically, we can. So yes, it's as weird as it sounds. Yes, we admit it's weird, but it puts it out there. It's all like it's. I'll read a little bit from which bit I wrote, as they would say. Have you ever watched any? There's a show that used to be on BBC One and called Morecambe and Wise. You've probably never heard of it in America.
No.
But basically, they used to say, here's a bit that I wrote. So here's a bit that I wrote. Cartoon Occult Martial Art Moves by Mark Rings. The following are simple, effective moves, a method of cartoon occult martial arts. First, you should aim to keep your entire body strong. By this exercise to keep your arts sharp. Stretch, flexibility is important in almost every martial art. In learning a martial art, you're going to work muscles that tend to get overlooked. Stretching is the only way to keep you from being stiff. Stretching during your workouts, but before and after your training sessions. Leg raises are a good way to improve flexibility in your legs. Lift your legs in front of you, maintain control the entire way. Don't kick your leg up, lift it slowly. Practice leg raises on the side and behind you to cover your full range of motion. Progress takes time, don't rush and get injured. And it basically goes on like that. And the occult side of it, which is by my friend and fellow author, Simon Robb, who's an occultist of renown, starts the book with cartoon occult martial arts. It's not like any other martial arts. Not just a part because it's unusual in practice nature, because because though perhaps at first it might be just to go for its name, it's highly effective fighting tool, but also its oddness. A cartoon occult martial artist does not just strike with his or her body, but with his mind. This means he quite simply, we're looking at a level of technique where the will and occult power is so strong that if one of the strikes were performed with normally utilized will and technique, the opponent would feel the strike even if our strike was performed on the other side of the globe or is actually being hit. It goes on a bit like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's the first. That's the first book, and you're going, yes, that's a bit weird, Mark. It's too weird for me, Mark. Go away. I don't understand what you're talking about.
No. Well, what got you into the paranormal world?
Well, basically, because of my near-death experience, it sort of triggered my sense of spirituality, and it sparked my curiosity. Because I started off in the world of cryptozoology.
Okay.
I basically. Oh, you carry on.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So back to rewind bit. Yeah, cryptozoology. Well, basically, I used to live in a little village called Woolsworthy, or Woolsworthy, as it's known, which is in Devon, England. And in there is an organisation called Centre of Futon Zoology, or CFZ for short. And I was looking for some volunteer work at the time. I looked up that website and I thought, oh, they're looking for volunteers. And I went along to meet a gentleman called Jonathan Downs, who's a renowned cryptozoologist. And I met him at his little cottage in there, where he keeps he uses an ex-potato shed as his office. Anyway, I met him and a fellow cryptozoologist called Richard Freeman, who's like a modern-day explorer. He goes out looking for monsters and things like that. And we had a little chat, and he basically said, oh, you'll get hooked into cryptozoology. And I have. I used to help out do their weird weekends, which is now gone up to the north side of England because John had to unfortunately stop the ones in Devon because of illness. But I helped out there, and I do a little bit of research. I write from and stuff like that. And that's what got me into research. And through research, that's how I got into paranormal, because if you do paranormal properly, you have to do the history and the locations and basically know a little bit about what you're trying to look into. I mean, I can't physically go myself because of my disabilities, but I can look into the research side of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what can you tell us about your podcast?
Well, basically, if you look me up and you put Mark Antony Rains in the Google or whatever search engine you care to use, you'll look up and you'll see it'll come up with loads of stuff. And basically, I started it off in 2017. I thought, well, I don't like video very much because it's a bit complicated and a bit awkward. So I thought I'd give podcasting a go. So I thought, I don't know how odd it is. So I basically use a smartphone and an Amazon Fire tablet. That's all I use my podcast for since 2017. I think I'm doing all right. I'm so far on Podbean, I've got 20,000 downloads plus. And when I was on Anchor FM, which I can't access anymore, I was on 45,000 downloads.
Wow.
So it's not bad for somebody who's running a basic machines.
You're doing great. Well, who's been your favorite guest on your show and why?
Well, this is going to sound my favorite guests are. Well, one was Bobby Munster, who does the Munster Movie Night on, who's a horror host. And basically, I did an interview with him. He didn't have any microphone. He didn't have a camera. So I had to do it all through the comments. So I did the questions, and he did the answer, and I had to do the questions and the answers for the interview, which is very weird and very odd. But through this, I got to appear on his show, and I did a bit of horror hosting with him for about Vault of Horror from Hammer House of Horror fame, and through that I became a horror host, which I enjoy doing. But I don't use this voice for horror hosting. I use a totally different voice for horror hosting. And my second favourite guest is the one I mentioned before, who's an occultist called Simon Robb, and he's a renowned occultist. And I know occultism is a bit dodgy for some people. They think it's the devil and hey, we're going to come and take over your soul, but he's not quite like that. His books are unusual, I admit that, but he's in the magician's book place, wherever that is in America. And who's my other ones? Oh God, I've had so many people. My memory's sort of going. It's sort of like, yes, I've had lots of people. I've done over 3,000 plus episodes, so it's quite a lot of people out there.
Oh yeah. Well, who's been your strangest guest that you've had on your show?
Myself, as I've talked to myself as being my horror host self. I interviewed my horror host self as myself. So it went on something like this. Yes, it was as good as that. It went on something like this. Hi, hello. Tonight I'm talking to Freddie the Freak. Hi, Mark. How's it going? What are you doing? Oh, great to be your guest on your show. Oh, I hope I don't scare anybody. And it went something along that line.
I did that one time, playing like I was interviewing Santa Claus.
Yeah. It's very strange interviewing yourself because people go, you can't do that. No, of course you can. It's your show. You can do what you want.
That's exactly right. Well, what's your favorite topic to discuss on your show?
Well, I do cover quite a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I got a Google pop-up and I can't figure out how to get them off. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Google is trying to interfere with the show. Rodney is now going into the corner, giving a good old thrashing with a baseball bat. And there he goes. Rodney, come back! No, come on, Rodney, come back! Come on, come on, so. Yeah, where was he? Oh yes. Where was he? Yeah, rewind. Yeah. Very turbo. Yeah, I cover aliens. I do a thing called EBE Talking, which is to do with two lovely ladies called Ivana and Olona Pogskiska, who are based in Czechoslovakia, who contact an alien called EBE. And I do Area 52, which is about UFOs. Strange Animals is obviously about strange animals, cryptozoology and that kind of thing. Freddy the Freak horror show. I do Lincolnshire Spirit podcast, which is basically to do paranormal. What else do I do? Oh, I present a couple of shows. I do a Ghostman show on Ambion Radio, which is a half-hour show. And on the Kingdom Influencers broadcast, I do He Saith, which is another half-hour show. And basically, I cover, you name a subject, I probably covered it.
That's awesome. Well, other than your near-death experience, have you had any other unexplained paranormal experiences that left a significant mark in your life?
Well, Well, there are two things, but which are fairly odd, but fairly strange. My wife one day was looking up from her bed, and she saw two shadow figures looking over her from the bed. They was only there for a couple of seconds, but she said they was looking at her as if they knew her, and then they disappeared. I said to her, it could have been her mother and father paying a visit just to say, hi, how are you? And the second one is, we used to have a Shih Tzu called Poppet, and one day he was fed and watered, but I didn't do it, my wife didn't do it, and my stepson didn't do it. So we don't know to this day how the hell he was fed. Sorry about that one. I swore then, so I apologise for that.
You don't have to apologize. You can say whatever you want on my show. Yeah, I'm not kiddie. I'm not a kiddie show.
But I'm British, so we try to be polite. I think most Americans have got a vision that either we talk like, hello, my name is Mark. I would like to talk to you about my show. Or, call governing boy, call blimey, mate, out of a ducky, boo, and all that kind of rubbish. But we do have various different accents, despite what most Americans would think.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And what's funny about here is they're like, speak English. It's like they are speaking English.
Yeah, that's what makes me... the complexities between that, we speak the same language, but we don't. So, like, if I say football, you would think American football. But if I say soccer, you know what I'm on about.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And if I say cricket, you'll go, what's cricket? And it's like you trying to explain to me about baseball, it'd be like me trying to explain to you about cricket. But Test cricket in particular, the Americans would be thinking, you play a game over 5 days? 5 days? How can you play a game over 5 days?
That's true. Our educational system sucks, so blame it on them. I know what cricket is.
See. At least there's somebody out there that knows what it is.
Yeah, I'm one of these. It's funny. I was raised here in the mountains all my life, and I educated myself because my dad, he bought as a encyclopedia. The salesman came by, and I was sitting there looking through the books, and I was like, ugh. And Dad said, I will buy these if you promise to read every book. And I promised, and I did. I read every book. So I learned a lot. Just, that was before the internet, people.
Well, you should be proud of that. That's quite an achievement. I mean, people don't appreciate what they have now, that they can, in the click of one finger on a button, you can find out more than you care to ever think. I mean, I'll give you an example. I used to live in Southend-on-Sea, which is based in Essex, and there used to be a myth called the Rat Man of Southend. This is it's supposed to be mostly a ghost story. It involves an old man who used the underpass to escape from the rain and cold at nights. The story goes that he was old and barely able to walk. One night, a group of teenagers beat him half to death and stole his blanket. The only source of warmth he had, dying from his injuries and biting cold in the night, he succumbed to hypothermia. His stiffening corpse nibbled and gnawed by numerous vermin who inhabited the area. Soon after, locals reported odd noises, namely high-pitched squealing and sound of nails dragging along the walls. Whether evidence of real ghost or overactive imagination, the fact remains the story of subsequent noises led to locals dubbing the creature the Rat Man of Southend. Or is it a mutant child? The other version of the story is more fanciful and probably emerges from the schoolyard folklore to frighten the kids. The story rose that the mayor of the town was known to be an adulterer and eventually cursed for his infidelity in a form of grotesque child. A baby with a long golden snout and worm-like tail of a rat. The child grew and developed a taste for flesh. Seeking a solution for his problem, the mayor had an underpass constructed and concealed the entrance of the chamber. Within his monstrous offspring might hide, only to emerge at night to indulge in horror. But actually, there are people born with tails.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's very, very rare, but where the bit on the bottom is, there has been known for people to have like a small like tail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
You probably covered it at one of your shows, I would have thought.
No, not yet, but I've been looking into a lot of different topics on my show. I guess the problem with my show, where it's late at night, some people are like, I'm in the bed. I can't do that.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it, to get a time structure, because obviously because of the time difference, it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I found out what it's called. Human vascularity. That's the word we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. I know I've interviewed you and I think 3 or 4 other people from the UK and one from Romania. And the time difference is, they're like, well, I got up early. Let's get this day started.
Well, it's not your fault. I find the same thing here. I mean, because I'm based in the UK, I have to do. Most of my guests tend to be American because Americans, they don't mind talking about themselves. Where here in the UK we go, yes, I don't want to talk about myself. I want to hide in my little hole, and I don't want to prove about my podcast or my club. But then I don't understand why nobody wants to know who we are.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I have a little. Carry on.
No, that's all right. You go ahead.
I'm taking over your show.
No, that's all
right. I have a little bit from one of my books. This is from the book Nightmares. And here is a story called The Unexpected Hitchhiker. Whilst driving on a country road, it's late at night, I'm far from home. I realise as I check my mirrors, there's a man you do not know hiding on the floor in your back seat. I make an emergency stop. I turn to see the man hiding on my floor, but no one is there. I carry on driving, and now I see a man hanging on my wing mirror. I make another emergency stop, and yet again, nothing is there. I decide I must be tired, and my brain is playing tricks on me. I say to myself, I'll get to the next possible free spare space, and I stop and stretch my legs and some fresh air to revive myself. I carry on driving as I know the pit stop only a mile ahead. Out of nowhere, a man sitting next to me. Again this time, I take a look at him. How can it be possible? It's me, but I'm driving the car. The car is getting rather dizzy. I start to lose control of the car. I hit a tree and fall on. My body moves forward with a jerk, hitting the dashboard full on. Sickly sweet blood is pouring from my head. My limbs feel stiff. I'm beginning to lose consciousness. I wake up beside my own self, driving my car along. The end.
Wow. Sounds like he was dead.
There's loads. Yeah. That's how I write my stories. Basically, normally inspired by an event, or if someone upsets me, I think, I'll write a story about that.
That's awesome. I know my dog like that.
I think the best way to write a story is that way, because you learn more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does the same thing when something happens or somebody upsets her, or she's constantly writing, and she's been like that ever since she was a little girl. And I'm sure one of these days that she's already published one little book, and she's working on some more. So I hope she's got a great future in it. I know I'd love to read her work.
Well, it's a hard thing to do because I only, as I say, got into it accidentally. I had to I do mind my smash words because I've just found the formula now how to do it. And I found that the other sites are okay, but you have to know your international bank code numbers and all that, which is a bit complicated for a person who's got problems with their memory. Because I have small vessel disease of the brain and neuropathy and OCD, which has a great effect on you when you're trying to do research and your brain's going, hello, I want to look at that bit there. Oh, let's do that bit there then.
Yeah, I have it too. I could be working on something and something else catch my eye, and then I forget what I was doing. I do it too.
Yeah, I call it the worm in your head. It's niggling away, going, hello, Rodney, hello, Mark. I'm coming to see you. Oh. It's all right. I'm a bit manic, so don't worry if I go off tangents.
Oh, that's all right. Well, I know. I
mind because hey.
Oh, go ahead.
Carry on. No, it's your show, my friend. I'm taking over your show.
Hey, I'm the kind of host that I'll just sit back and just let it go. However it goes is where we'll end up.
That's exactly the way to do it, my friend. Keep it free flow. That's what I do. I always say to people, if you're going to be on my show, it's like having a cup of tea or coffee and some biscuits. And I always say, what biscuits would you require?
Yeah. I like homemade biscuits.
Well, you would be, being a country boy, as they would say.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you into wrestling?
Well, I when I was younger, a little bit, but I was mostly into football, American football. I played that in high school.
Yeah, because I'm a great fan of the wrestling on the TV. I used to be my wrestling that started in the days from World of Sport with the likes of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks and lots of Americans going, what's World of Sport? I've never heard of that. Well, it's back in the 70s. That's how old I am. And I developed from there. I used to watch. I still watch. I watch Impact Wrestling, and I watch WWE as it is now. I nearly say its old name. I used to like watching WCW in its day and ECW and all those kind of things. I know wrestling is fixed, as they say, but I wouldn't go in the ring because they're bigger than me and they know how to beat me up. And it's quite a dangerous sport if you get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was a big fan of it when I was growing up, especially WCW. And I actually went to a couple of the big events when they first came out in the 80s. I watched Ric Flair win his first title down in Greensboro, North Carolina. And, I know it's fake, but when you see their faces and bodies being ripped on a fence, that ain't fake. That's real blood. That was real. Yeah.
If you see the hardcore matches, I think it's some of them had Mick Foley's missing an ear because he had a ear ripped off but he got caught in some barbed wire. There's scars galore on some of them, and some of their injuries are really severe.
Mm-hmm. Now, my ex-father-in-law, he wanted me to actually go to a wrestling camp, Ricky Steamboat's, to learn to wrestle, because because I was like 18, 19, he thought that I would make a good wrestler, but I wasn't really. I liked watching it, but I didn't know about making a career out of it. So I decided to go into the printing business. So wrestling, printing, big difference.
Well, yeah. I could tell you what. Would you like me to read a story as Freddy the Freak?
That'd be fine.
Right, this is one of my own, and it's called Vegan. And this following is read by me, Freddy the Freak. Hello, Robbie. It's nice to meet you. I think you look very good over there. I don't know what you look like, but I'm sure you're a very handsome chap. And here is the following story. Vegan. The country's adopted a new principle of a two-stage process from the non-ritual slaughter of the human race. This is to ensure a rapid death with minimal suffering. As our scientists said, they feel no pain. The first stage of the process involves usually stunning. This renders the human beings unconscious and thus not susceptible to pain, but not necessarily dead, just a state of unconsciousness. In the second stage, the human beings are killed, usually by slitting its throat and allowing the blood to drain. The blood can be used as a byproduct of great fertilizer. Our planets in the known universe differ in the methods which they have been legalized for different gender, age, and colour of human beings. We use various methods for rendering human beings unconscious. During the slaughter, electrical stunning or slaughter with electrical current known as electrical pulses. This method is used by human beings. A current is applied either across the brain or the heart to render the human being unconscious before being killed. In the actual slaughterhouse, humans killed prior to scalding by being passed through an electrified water bath while shackled gaseous carbon dioxide. This method was borrowed from the human being's past history when it was inflicted on their own kind for a bizarre reason for the people who were called Jews. The humans are sophisticated by the use of CO2 gases before being killed. In several countries, CO2 is stunning and mainly used on humans. A number of humans enter the chamber, which is sealed and filled with 80% to 90% CO2 in the air. The humans lose consciousness within 13 to 30 seconds. Mechanical captive bolt pistol. This method can be used on the humans. A captive bolt pistol is applied to the head of the human to quickly render the unconscious before being killed. Firearm, mostly a gold bolt. This method is used for humans. A conventional firearm is used to fire a bullet in the brain of the animal to render the human quickly unconscious and presumably dead. This sophistication, the human can be either with its throat cut or insert a stick in its chest while making sure the cut close to the heart. Please ensure that when either method is described, allow the main vein to bleed when cuts are cut and allow to bleed. Electrical stunning. The humans are being hung upside down with their legs on their middle shackles along a moving conveyor belt. They move along the production line, studying the water bath. Human head makes contact with the water, electrical circuit between the water bath and the shackles completed, which stuns the human. The conveyor belt then moves the human to a mechanical neck cutter, which cuts the majority of blood vessels in the neck. 9 humans are shackled whilst waiting processing neck. Please make sure to sever the main blood vessels in human neck or chest that supply the brain, ensuring the blood loss, and therefore death. This ends of your guidance for the killing of the creatures known as human. Enjoy and have a great feast, my fellow vegans. And thank you, and good night. And back to Mark.
Wow.
And you can just about guess what I'm having a go at. I'm having a play on the word vegan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if I've upset any vegans out there. It's not intentional, but it was my play on the horror. I thought, well, I'm using the word vegan to play on the fact that they're not vegan.
No, they don't sound like it. Are you there?
Now, what else would you like to discuss?
Oh, okay. I kept hearing clicking, so I was to make sure you didn't hang up. He's like, I'm done with this show. Bam. Well, I know.
No.
I know on your show you discuss, whole wide range of topics such as Bigfoot, UFOs, conspiracy theories. But do you ever discuss, like ancient civilizations, time travel, etc.? And what can you tell us about each topic?
I've actually written a book called Time Travelling is Happening as We Exist, and which goes into the theory that basically we're time travelling as we speak. Well, I am actually time travelling because, as I said earlier in the show, it's gone 3:41 a.m. in UK, and I believe it's gone 10:41 EST, which basically means you are now in Thursday night, and I am in Friday morning. So technically, I have time travelled. I know people are going to say, "Oh no, it's only because you're in a time zone." But hey, is that not the means of the time traveller to be in the future?
Yep, I agree with that. Have you interviewed anybody on your show about time travel or said that they were a time traveler?
I have tried, but obviously getting someone to come on the show to admit they're a time traveller is a little bit of a strain. I mean, I will admit I'm a time traveller because I wrote the book, so I have to admit that. But apart from myself, no, I haven't.
Well, I've had a guy that's been on my show twice that says he was a time traveler, and anytime the thing about when I had him on the show, when I was asking him questions, especially about how he time traveled, which was apparently some kind of government test here in the United States, but trying to get details of what he's seen in the future seemed kind of vague.
Yeah, because I'm not being funny. It's like me. I've talked to a lot of people who've had alien abductions, and you have to take. I'm not saying they haven't been abducted. Don't get me wrong, but like you, if they start going, well, I sort of think I'm thinking, but if they're clear and detailed, you're thinking, who am I to say it didn't happen?
Well, that's true. Who am I to say it didn't happen? But it's still kind of, unless you've got some way to prove it, it's kind of hard to believe it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but he was talking about how Donald Trump is making America great again, and because of Donald and his family, the future is so much better. And I told him, I said, I don't know what future you went to, but that don't sound like what I see.
I talked to a lady once who's a renegade archaeologist who studies the truth behind ancient mysteries and stuff like that. A lady called Dr. Heather Lynn. And she's done a book called Evil Archaeology, Demons, Possessions, and Sinister Relics. It's quite a fascinating subject. And she covers things like, what is the origins of demons? Was Jesus an exorcist? What can we protect? How can we protect ourselves according to historical records? That kind of thing. She's quite well renowned. I think you like her as a guest. She's very good, very informative.
Okay, that'd be great. Well, I was speaking of demons. That's the question I was going to ask you. What is your opinion about demons, and have you ever had any experience with anything, quote unquote, that was a demon?
I think, as far as I know, when I talk to most paranormal guests that I talk to, they said the definition is, the trouble is people say that anything that plays up at being a bit naughty is a demonic ghost. Well, obviously that's not true, because that's just a ghost being saying, hi, I'm here. A true demon is one that tries to take you over and control, to be part of the real world. Now, I do believe there's such a thing as evil and good. I think that we all have ability to be good and evil. I have a theory about God and that. And I believe God is schizophrenic because we are made in his image. So, therefore, he's both good and evil at the same time. So, yes, I do think demons exist, but I don't think they are what we think they are. I think they are like a dark energy force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. As long as I've been doing paranormal investigations, I've never ran into anything that I would say is demonic. I ran into mischievous things that was going on, but nothing that I would say was a demon. Well, what's your opinion on what ghosts could be? Could it be something from a parallel universe? Could it be actually someone's spirit? I mean, what's your opinion about that?
I think it's an energy source. I don't think, as such, that I don't think it's like when you die. I think your soul, which has been evidence out there that when you have a autopsy, they don't understand there's 12% difference when they do all the weighing up the body and all that they can't explain for. And this is maybe the soul. Well, I think the energy force can be either good or bad. And if you live a good life, your energy force goes up into the light. And if you live a sort of not a very nice life, you go in the dark. A little bit like the Theory Ghost, the film. Yes, I may have borrowed from that for the film, but I think I like that idea.
Oh, okay. Well, why do you think one still lingers, a spirit or a ghost, and doesn't move on to the light or the dark?
I think it's basically they may be missing their previous life they had. B, they want to right a wrong of some sort. Or C, they're trapped there by the energy of the building. As you know, the stone tape theory. Did you know that originated from a documentary?
No, I didn't know that.
I did a thing about it the other day, and there was a documentary. I think it's from BBC. It's called The Stone Theory, and basically in the story, there's a lady being caught in a home, and anyway that she keeps getting experiences from in the house, and it's all been played back from the house or the stones in the house, and they reckon that's where we people from the paranormal world basically got the theory of stone theory. I mean, I don't say that's true, but that's what they reckon.
Oh, okay. Well, have you been there in the UK? Have you been on any locations that are supposedly haunted and had any experiences?
No, but I know I've just pulled up haunted Devon, where I live. I can tell you a few places where you can go.
Okay.
Which are local to me. And here they are. Chamber Combe Manor, which is based in Ilfracombe, which is like in a seaside place. I don't know if you know the term seaside in America, but basically it means you've got a sea, you've got a town, so it's called a seaside place. So there, that explains that. Chamber Combe Manor is renowned for its haunted happenings, which trace back to the event occurred in the 11th century, where the Chatham family lived there during the period. Apparently, a woman who suffered injuries. They took her in for a shipwreck. They attempted to revive her. They took her to the manor, but sadly she died afterwards. Years later, residents discovered the haunted chamber where the remains of the woman's body was found on the four-post of bed. Fisherman's Cot, which is Bickley. Unusual occurrences of sightings. The inn is haunted by a ghost of a young lady who's unknown to the staff. She's said to be a friendly spirit. Virtuous laughter can be heard from the bar in the inn and of those enjoying a pint. But there's a less nice ghost who's called to do the headless horseman seen riding across Beckley Bridge. The Three Crowns Hotel in Chagford. Many believe there's a speak about two untimely deaths. The first is Mary Wilton, who was shot on the steps of the manor when she arrived to celebrate a wedding day back in 1641. Poor girl. And the second one is Sydney Godolphin. Yes, that's a strange name. A poet and soldier who brought to the manor to recover from his wounds in the Battle of Shiskin in 1643. Unfortunately, he died, but he still stayed on, disturbing the ghost by walking through dressed in school soldier's uniform. And one that's quite close to me, Oakhampton Castle. It's deadly times. The evil widow said to spend her time in the afterlife making a nightly journey from Oakhampton to Dartmoor to pick a single blade of grass. The legend states that only once the hillside is stripped completely bare, because we've saved from freedom. A coach and horses inn in Buckland Borough, which is roughly about 10 miles from me, mostly cited a common ghost of two cavaliers who stand in the corner of the rooms. This room particularly contains a hook that hangs from the ceiling that was once used to suspend people as a form of punishment. What a great day to spend your day, hanging someone from the hook. Connor Castle in Exeter. The Grey Woman, as she's known, is in fact the most feared of these ghosts of all the castle. She's not meant to be evil, but he said if anybody witnesses her, you may be the prelude to being dying. Buckland Abbey near Yelderton, which is owned by the National Trust. It's been going since 1580. It once belonged to a certain person called Francis Drake. I'm sure the Americans have heard of Francis Drake. And he's supposed to be the ghost of Dartmoor, a black coach driven by headless horses, followed by a pack of howling hounds. Charleston Court Inn, the last one, so don't worry, you're nearly getting there. Built in the 12th century, it's said that the prominent pub to host a number of spirits, mostly a group of monks spotted and several customers. So there you are, ghostly monks coming to pray. And the last one is a house, well, near the last one, sorry. Last one but last is a Seaford house in Westwood Hoe. Built in 1855, it's had several owners. And the house looks like it's straight out of Hammer Horror. The decrepit spirits, eerie stillness contributing with frosty atmosphere. Shoot Barton Manor, the Exminster, it is built between the 15th and 16th century. The Grey families carried out a number of alterations to the building. Lady Grey Jane was meant to be was on the throne of England, but unfortunately failed, resulting in the loss of property and self-confirmed infirmity. Many visitors of property reported a sighting lady inside the manor, but the identity of the apparition remains unknown. And we have Bury Pomeroy Castle, which was built in the 12th century. And now goes to be the White Lady haunts the dungeons at St. Margaret's Tower. Mysterious figure seen by visitors is thought to be the ghost of Lady Margaret Pomeroy, spent but 20 years imprisoned in the cells in the hands of her sister, Lady In-law. It's nice sisters fall out, isn't it? Falmouth Manor. It belonged to the Feldford family, who owned it since 1190, which is a long time. Reported a number of strange occurrences occurring in slamming doors, various places, sightings of anonymous figures at the corners, and most disturbingly experiencing being pinned to their beds by an invisible force. Saltram House in Plymouth. It belongs to the National Trust, according to trustees. There's a long-standing rumor that states to be untimely death of a kitchen maid took place somewhere in the property. Consequently, the spirit haunts in the form of a haunted apparition, wanders the halls and dining room, haunting those who encounter her. And that's a little bit haunted devil where I live. So there you are.
Wow.
If you're an American and you're coming over and you want to visit some haunted places, I've given you a quick guide.
Yeah, no kidding. You all have a lot of different haunted places In the UK.
Yeah, so there's a very, very, well, obviously, I don't want to brag, but we've got a bit of a longer history than you, because basically you didn't like us serving you as a cup of tea, and you decided to bugger off. So
I think it had to do something with the king and the taxes or something. I don't know.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something about King George wanting more money or something. Yeah. Well, what about UFOs? What type of UFOs have been seen in England? And have you experienced any?
I know UFOs in over here in Devon, but I haven't seen one myself. I wish I could, but if I had the chance, I would do it in a heartbeat. If an alien come knocking on my door and say, "Hello, Mark, I'll come to see you," I say, "Oh, hello. How are you today?"
Well, are there a lot of reported sightings in the UK?
Oh my God, we've even got our own British Roswell.
Oh wow! So I take it y'all had a crash too, huh?
Yeah, I'll find the information for you in a moment. I'm multitasking at the same time. Not a thing men and men to do. Lots of women listening in. Yes, men can multitask. It has been known. It's not a
maybe. Yeah, maybe one or two.
Any women listening? British Roswell. I've got to get it right. British Roswell. Da-da-da. This was back in 1957. An unidentified object was discovered in Stowell Moor near Scarborough in Yorkshire, England. The event was defined as a British Roswell, but it should be confused with British Roswell. It took place in 1986, completely different part of the country. So there you are. You've got two versions. You've got this one in Yorkshire, which happened on the Scarborough Moors. And this was an object that was given to the university, and the details released by the Ministry of Defence. The detailed UFO sighting. One of the staff members tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I was aware bits of flying saucer have been kept in a cigar tin in a museum group store for decades. I was absolutely amazed. Later, we opened the tin box and saw the wreckage. It was obvious there's remains of a missing silo saucer. Some that claimed the British answer to the famous Roswell incident. It's incredible to hear the pieces of this mystery object have been sitting in a museum archive for more than half a century.
Wow.
Because there was a person called, if you look him up, there's a man called Nick Pope who used to be help look for UFOs officially for the British government.
Yeah, he lives, I think, in Arizona or New Mexico here in the States now.
Yeah, he's a bit awkward to get hold of, but he's worth knowing.
Well, what's your thoughts on?
Like everybody knew.
Oh yeah, some of these people are hard to get a hold of, or they just don't want to speak to you, to me.
Yeah, well they're just saying, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, that's it. Well, what's your thoughts on animal mutilations? Do you all have any reports of that in the UK? like we do here in America?
We have had them. Just looking it up. I use my friend Google, as we do, because it's easy to find things.
The Google.
Where would we be without my friend Google? I would be a complete gibbering mess.
I'd be sitting around with
as
books
they would
every.
say. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, if I had the book with me, I would do it now. But hey, such is life.
Yeah, use what's easy and you got a hand.
We got genuine. We got. I found a really strange thing by looking up Google. Now, if you look it up, you can find genuinely bizarre, genetically mutilated animals. Yeah, we've got the thing called an octogoat. The froggy, the three-headed frog. Oh, lovely. This is what people actually gone ahead and done. Real life things.
Wow.
Froggy the frog, three-headed frog, was found in Weston-upon-Supermare in England. The one-footed snake, 2009. A single clawed foot was discovered of a woman in southwest China. She found the snake hanging on a window. She was a bit freaked out. Well, I would be freaked out if I found a one-footed snake. Glow-in-the-dark cats. This is planned to be a result of man tampering with the name of AIDS research, apparently. Goats with spider web milk. These goats are genetically modified by such as that's by Niska biotechnical allergies, so the milk is infused with spider silk. The milk produced is used to make a material known as biosteel. The product is 7 to 10 times stronger than steel. The monkey pig? A strange little piglet that faced a monkey, born in a small village in China. You've got to be a bit careful when it says China. The Cyclops kitten, known as a side-eyed, was delivered in a Victorian hospital when a mother was showing complications during birth. There was a second kit born in a litter, emerged with his mother with only one large eye and an absent nose, but basically like a genetic version of the elephant man, probably. Transparent goldfish. Instance of genetic tampering on the part of scientists. The seafood fish are made from some authentic alternative to dissection of animated computer program. Oh, the real life binky. Oh, lovely. Genetic mutation of a three-eyed fish named Binky. That sounds a little bit like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling pooch. The condition is a genetic abnormality that creates a lack of motor-stretching protein and disallows motor-stretching to be produced at significant level. The result is an abnormally huge muscular structure known as double muscling. The condition is seen in humans, cattle, and whippet breeds of dogs. The purple squirrel? There's a number of purple squirrels sightings all over the world. The occurrence of genetic color mutations hasn't been heard of. Is it a dye? Transparent frogs were created by the Hishiroro rabbits for very reason as a transparent goldfish. Oh, lovely. Scientists. Blue lobsters, which you probably know more about than me, extremely rare, but not unheard of. There is about 1 to 2 million chance that a lobster will be blue. And the number one top of animals you would not like to meet in a street and never want to see ever again is Frankie and Louie, the two-faced cat. The cat is a result of absorbing another member litter in the womb. While animals born this way usually don't live long due to a number of problems like cleft palates and illness, associated with mutation. Frankie and Louis seemed to have avoided the side effects and lived a long life together. So it's a bit like conjoined twins, but a cat version.
Ooh. Yeah, he won't want me down on the
But those
street.
are people. So now your listeners are going in, yes, he's gone to bizarre muted animals now. But apparently they will. I mean, obviously, a man's in China you have to be a bit wary of. But, hey, yeah.
Yes, that's true. Well, have you spoke to any guests or know anything about, or talked about human hybrids with aliens?
Yes, I've talked to Penny Shepherd. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She does a lot to do with aliens and stuff like that. I've talked to a fair few people in that world of that they've talked to aliens and they've been involved with them, gone into their spaceship, had a good discussion about the world and how to figure it out, that kind of thing. And there are some bizarre and wonderful conversations. And who am I to disagree with them? I mean,
Well, what's your thoughts on, the ancient astronaut theory?
I think it's a fascinating theory. But I think, let me think. Well, I think that there is a theory out there that the aliens that we see are not actually aliens. It's us travelling back to see us and come back to visit ourselves to basically say, oh, look at us. Because, as you may know, we are genetically mutating as a species. You'll notice that most boys are mostly over 6 foot plus now. Most girls develop sexually more probably from the age of 10 onwards as a general rule. So we as a species are growing taller and developing more. We're living longer because there's nothing out there to hunt us, to come along and eat us. We don't have to hunt anymore. So basically, we're living longer because of medicine and all that. But I think ancient aliens, I think they did come and visit us. I think they may have helped us a bit, but I'm not too sure. But see, I think we underestimate the intelligence of the Stone Age man, myself, and beyond. I think we think that Stone Age man just went about with a club in his hand, bashing someone over the head, or if it was a female he fancied, here, darling, bash on the head, grabbed her hair, pulled her along in the old cave, bish bus bash, babies, welcome along, and that was it. But if you look at things like Stonehenge and other things, and you look at the complexity of how they could arrange a lot of stones to be configured with the stars and the sun and the moon, was they helped? I don't know. Perhaps it could have been them, and we've misunderstood their intelligence.
Well, that kind of brings up, ancient civilizations and megalithic sites. I've had some guests on that they have said that, there's a lot of things that have been built all around the world that even with the technology we have today, that we cannot recreate and move such heavy stones. So, do you think that earlier man was able to move these stones and be so precise with their cuts that we can't do it today?
I think we can. I think they could. This is what my theory is. Now, we're going on the assumption that they would build it how we would build it. Now, you've got to remember, back then, they thought nothing of using humans as slaves. So you had 100 people pushing a locker on, someone dies, oh, okay, tough shit, move on. So they could move them with rollers. Like, you put a heavy object on a series of rollers and push it along. Like when you got logs, you put a heavy object in it and you can move the next log, then the next log, the next log, like that. And people say, well, how did they lift the stone up? Well, they could have, the pulley and lock systems we got, that you can put a rope or a chain on a heavy object, but you can still pull that object up, although it weighs twice as more than you could actually lift yourself.
Right.
I'm not saying, people are going to think I'm mad, but I don't care. But I think that this is why I think it's possible. I think if you look at how they built the pyramids, they basically had a lot of slave labor, and they built it stone by stone by stone. I'm not saying we haven't been influenced by aliens. I'm not too sure about that, because I think in Australia, I think there's evidence of paintings on the wall where they've got very tall figures looking down at them.
Uh-huh. Yes.
But this is also what I think. When we look into the fairy tales, when people say about giants and fairies and gnomes, I wonder if we've misunderstood what the fables are on about. Because you look at anyone back then, most people back then were average size was about 4 foot, 5 foot, I would say. So anyone over 6 foot would be a giant. Anyone under 3, 4, 5 foot beyond would be a gnome of some sort. I'm not too sure about the fairy side of it, but it's all myths have every myth you know about or every legend you've ever heard has a tinge of truth somewhere in it.
So, what are your thoughts about giants and Bigfoot? Seeing how there's evidence, especially here in the States, where they found giant remains, but once they dug them up and the Smithsonian came in, they're gone and you're forgotten. But I've had other people on that's talked about giants being found throughout the world. That their height's been anywhere from 8, 10, 14, 20 foot tall.
Well, I think they did exist. But I also think there is such a thing as Bigfoot. Did you know there's such a thing as British Bigfoot?
Oh, yes.
You've heard of that?
Yes,
I've heard of the lady that.
I've heard that there's Bigfoot sightings all over the world.
Yeah, I've talked to the lady behind the website, British Bigfoot Sightings Report.com, a lady called Deborah Hatswell. She, in her life, actually saw a Bigfoot up close and personal, and that inspired her to look more into the subject. Now, most people debunk what she says because they think she's a bit odd. But if you actually look into the witness reports, it's a bit like everything. It's a bit like paranormal or ghosts or UFOs or any report you like to mention. If people witnessed it, they tend to write it down as they saw it on a day, and it's up to you whether you believe them or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
true.
There's
werewolves. There's werewolves in the UK as well. There's sightings of werewolves. Because I talked to a man about, he's an ex-paramilitary man, so he knows his stuff. He's not a man of these that can easily be fooled. Anyway, he regularly goes out because part of his job is security. And whilst there's that post again, Google trying to interfere. And they're saying, you can't talk about werewolves. How? Anyway, Yes. Anyway, he goes out regularly on security patrols, and when he's out there, he can see mysterious figures moving around that are hairy and dog-faced like. I suppose he could have called them dog men, really, them werewolves. But hey, I mean, the definition of werewolf is someone who turns from a man to wolf. But you think about it. There's people that have got the disease where they are covered totally head to foot in fur.
Mm-hmm.
They grow excess hair. Now, if you live in a village and you see someone walking towards you with lots of fur on them, you would think it was some kind of wolf or some kind of animal. So that could have been mistaken for Sasquatch or a werewolf. See, you've got to look into every possibility, what it could have been, and then discount that possibility, and then look into it even more, and could it been more? But that's up to you to decide. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what we believe, not what anyone else believes.
Yep, that's true. Well, I know that in your country there's a lot of crop circles that are reported. Is that still a big thing now, or has it kind of died down?
It's sort of died down. I think the crop circles, there are still ones about, but they don't come up so frequently as they used to. I mean, there are reports of them, but obviously we have the version that somebody went along with planks and made them dramatic designs. But then, how can they say they did every single one of them? I don't think that's possible.
And some of the photos with some of the ones I've seen, the photos of the geometric shapes, it's like if you had people doing it with planks, how could they do that overnight as large as they are?
Yeah, I'm looking at some now on a UK site called www.ukcropcircles.co.uk. And it's got some lovely images of crop circles that have been found recently in the UK. And some of them you're thinking, well, that could have been made by man. But then you look at it again and you're thinking, how did they make that one? Like you say, some of the geometric shapes are too involved to be just like two people mucking about.
Mm-hmm. And even if you had a team of people out there doing it, I still don't see how you could have 10, 20, 30, 50 people out there rummaging around in the dark just to make a crop circle with these elaborate shapes.
What do you think of the flat Earth theory?
I don't agree with it. I think the Earth is round. I know I've had to deal with, I've talked to a few people about the flat Earth theory. They'll bring it up a little bit, but I definitely don't agree with it. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think it's a load of
horseshit.
I mean, how can? Yeah, that's the best word. Yes, we'll go to British word. Bullshit, right? Bullshit. It's a bullshit. Bullshit. Of society. Yes. How can the Earth be flat? Basically, they're saying if we travel along on a boat, you're in the middle of the sea, but you're not actually going around the sea. Actually, what you're seeing is an illusion. It's some sort of hologram. I thought, yes. It's a bit like saying man didn't land on the moon because of the flag. They always say about the bloody flag. Mm-hmm. Every time you talk to anybody who says we didn't land on the moon because obviously 50 years ago we did, they always say, oh, look at the flag, it's blowing in the wind. Well, it's not blowing in the wind, it's a specially commissioned flag because flags wouldn't float in gravity. So they had to make a flag that looked like it was moving because they didn't have a flag that would be able to float in no gravity. I blame a lot of that on the film Capricorn 1, which is basically about the faking of landing on Mars. If you watch that film, a lot of the theories about why we didn't land on the moon came from that film.
Yeah, that's
so anybody
true.
out there, conspiracy theories, says anything, I'm going to stick one finger up to you as I speak. Because we did land on the moon, so take it and go away.
Well, the thing is, I don't mean to jump back to the flat earthers, but when people have brought that up to me, I told them, I said, well, can you explain the time differences? Because if the Earth was flat, how can it be, 11:25 here and 4:25 in England? Wouldn't we all be under the same amount of sunlight, and then we all would be under the same amount of darkness at the same time?
No, but they went, Now, I'm going to have to go, as they would say in England, for a wee. So I'm going for a quick toilet break. I'll be back in a second, so you can talk. I do apologise that, but when you've got to go, you've got to go.
That's right. That's fine.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
I'll just play a commercial while you do your run.
Yeah. Hi, folks. I'm going for a wee. See you there in a minute. And now it's going to Rodney doing an advert. Bye.
Phantom Fest 2019 is hosted and sponsored by Black Diamond Paranormal Society, Blog Talk Radio within the Chaos and Elk Garden School Community Ministry. The Phantom Fest is geared for the like-minded and enthusiasts and researchers in the fields of the paranormal, UFOs, cryptozoology, comics, horror films, gamers, cosplay, metaphysical, spiritual, artists, authors, ancient civilizations, tattoo artists, unexplained mysteries, superheroes, FX horror artists, steampunk, costume contest, sci-fi and so much more. The fest offers a unique and interesting outlook on the abnormal. The Phantom Fest will be held on November 2nd, 2019 at the Russell County Conference Center, 139 Highland Drive, Lebanon, Virginia. Starting at 10 a.m. and going to 6 p.m. Tickets are $7 per person, ages 0 to 6 are free. Or tickets can be reduced to $5 per person with 2 non-perishable food items, to be donated to the Elk Garden School Community Ministry to help families during the Thanksgiving season. Any non-perishable food donations will be happily received. Also, we will have a free costume contest for all ages. Guest speakers, returning this year, Bill and Chris Reap of Reap Investigations, giant researcher Heather Arnold. New to this year's Phantom Fest guest speakers, Dave Spinks, Ron Whitehead, Jake Fife, Chad Zumwalt and Whitney Benson, Amy Green, Barry Gaunt, Cosplay Bridget Baker, CNC Paranormal Investigations, Dennis Estlock, Geo Argus Girls Heather Taylor and Micah Taylor, Haunted MD Donald Molnar, Lucky Belcamino, Michelle Magner, and Rebecca Smoot. Special appearances by Cosplay Bridget Baker, Martial Arts Christian Yaya Thompson and Token Nihilist Cosplay, Arthur Stump, Grace N. Lehman, Raphael Bertiz and the Whiteville Ghostbusters. Find us on Facebook Phantom Fest, www.facebook.com/phantomfest. Our website, www.phantomfest.org. Our email, phantomfest1@yahoo.com. For more information, please contact Rodney Shortridge at 276-970-1456 or Josh Mead at 276-880-8900 extension 1259.
Hello. I'm back
He's
from
back.
People be thinking he's gone for a wee in the middle of the show. But hey, if you've got to go, folks, you've got to go. I can't hold on just to do a show.
Hey,
At least it wasn't the number 2, which was doing even longer. You would have had to do 2 adverts instead of 1.
There have been times I've been doing an interview and I'm sitting here, got my legs crossed, my eyes crossed, my arms crossed, going, "Oh gosh, I don't think I'm going to make it."
I've got a little tale for you from. It's like an urban legend, if you like. It's
Okay.
called the Hairy Hands, which is based in Dartmoor. You've got to imagine it's 1925, the dark nights, the sky is clear, it's a bit of a cold morning. We're driving along the B3212, which is between Pope's Bridge and two bridges, and you're visiting your friends in Moulton to Helmstead, the old turnpike road, and the car is freezing. You're out in the mid-moorland chill. Your heavy coats and thick gloves. On the left, moon peering up you from the arch. And as you get nearer, a brown-hunched figure stares transfixed with blood eyes. It stares deep down at your soul. Your partner screams as it grabs the brake. Heavy rubber tires slide across the icy surface. Seconds later, minutes of the vehicle glides gracefully sideways to the bumpy road and stops just short of the static monster of the night. Gradually, racing heart slows down and senses return. And there's a red deer transfixed in the fear. The wits tools. It's not the gloves, or not the gloves. It's actually hairy hands controlling you. And these hairy hands have been part of a legend on the road. This happened to various people. One was in 1921, a Dr. Hillbay from Princetown had his motorcycle sidecar suddenly forced out of control. The two children were tossed out of the sidecar. Sadly, the doctor was killed. Not long after this tragic accident, the army officer was injured with his motorcycle, driven off the road. He lived to tell the tale that once he told he was a muscular, hairy hands clasping over his and forcing the bike into the verge. The Daily Mail soon picked up the story, which is a local paper, not a local, big paper in the UK. Story that the ghostly events became headline news. Local authorities sent engineers to investigate repairs were made to the road until that a year later, a Chobonic carrying some tourists along the B3212 had a fortunate encounter of the ghostly hairy hands. Apparently the vehicle was merrily speeding along when suddenly it swerved, shot across the other side of the road and mounted a bank. At a point at a time, seatbelts are not compulsory, so several passengers were ejected out of the trail blank, one of which was seriously injured. Afterwards, the driver reported a pair of ghastly hairy hands that grabbed the wheel and forced him off the road. 1920s, a woman staying in a caravan parked in the ruins of Powder Mills was woken one night when she saw hairy hands creeping out the window. She made the appropriate sign of the cross and dismembered vanished. A car was found upturned in a ditch with its driver dead at the wheel. The cause of the accident was never established. To this present day, there still reports of either spectral hands grabbing the steering wheel, while the evil presence inside a car, in which some cases leads is erratic steering. This is one from 1962 by Florence Warwick. Was tooting along the road when she wanted to check out the location. She stopped the car to look at the map. In other words, I looked up and saw a pair of huge, hairy hands pressed against the windscreen. I tried to scream, but I couldn't. I was frozen with fear. In 2008, another motorist reported he saw a huge pair of what looked like hairy paws grabbed his steering wheel and attempted to force off the road. In 2006, a driver was going along the higher Cherrybrook Bridge. He swung the car violently into the car park, grabbed his camera, went back to investigate, and right in front of his eyes were two black, hairy hands swinging on a barbed wire fence. So there you are, folks. If you're going in Devon and Google will go along with you to the B3212 in near Dartmoor, Devon. And if you're lucky, a pair of hairy hands may grab your wheel and drive you to your death.
Wow. That would freak me the hell out.
You're driving along going, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah. like, I don't have hairy hands. What the hell's this up? What's up with this?
You got loads of fables, urban legends. I bet you've got loads in America.
Oh yeah, especially here in the Appalachian Mountains. There's all kinds of fables and legends and oh my gosh, old stories about witches and little people and Bigfoot. It just goes on and on. And it is interesting living here in the mountains. I've seen things I can't explain. But while I got you on and seeing how you live in the UK, what is your opinion about Jack the Ripper?
We have many a theory about Jack the Ripper. I've heard it was a woman, a member of royalty, a struck-off surgeon. But I think that it could have been a surgeon of some description or someone who was very experienced with knives, that was sure. And I think he obviously chose women of the night because they were easier targets to pick on because they would be on most street corners back at that time. And he might have had something about women, I don't know. And you've got to remember, London back then was not brightly lit. It was very foggy and very dark and dingy, so it would be very easy to move in the narrow corridors of the night to kill people. I think he actually only the last killing he known to have done in the UK was the most brutal. I have heard rumours that he moved from Britain to America, and that he's been associated with some murders in America.
Okay. Well, what else?
True or not, I don't know.
Well, I had a guest on one time from the UK, and I never got to ask him this question, but I've read about this fairy rings. What's a fairy ring?
Fairy rings.
Yeah, fairy.
Do you mean the one in the case? Do you mean the one with Arthur Conan Doyle?
I don't. It's Fairy. Fairy rings. I hope I'm saying that right.
Fairy rings. If not, they're going to get complaints soon. You was talking about fairy rings? How dare you?
It doesn't surprise me to get a complaint.
Now, right, I've got. I had to look it up on my friend Wikipedia because as much as I know, you've baffled even me. A fairy ring is known as a fairy circle, elf ring, pixie king. Is naturally occurring ring of arc of mushrooms. There you go. Mushrooms, ring. Perhaps you've been eating too many. Rings can grow over 10 meters or 33 foot in English diameter, and they are stable over time. And fungus grows and seeks food underground. They're found mainly in forest areas. They appear in grasslands or rangelands. Fairy rings are detectable by sculler carps, fungal spore pods in rings or arcs, as well as neurotic zone. That sounds good, isn't it? Dead grass, a ring of dead green grass. Fungus melisodium is present in the ring of arc underneath. They're subject of much folklore. I wonder what the folklore is then. I wonder if it goes into the folklore. No, it doesn't go here yet. Wait a minute. Old oral and traditional folklore. It says it originates from European language. It's in French, in France, Germany. They've got versions of this as well. Dutch is in Dutch. So it's quite got a lot of big history in Europe. In Britain and Ireland, a lot of fairy lore include the idea that fairy rings take their names as a result of dancing of the fairies. This comes from 19th century Wales, where the rings were known as, I'm not going to even try to pronounce Welsh, CYLCHYLYTHTEG. I'll have a go. Sailor, ya tag. Well, if someone's Welsh listening, they probably think laughing their heads off. Fairies are almost invariably described as dancing in a group when encountered. As Scotland and Wales lately said British late 20th century stories about fairy rings still are common. So it's basically originated from Welsh culture.
Oh, okay.
And Victorian folklorists regarded fairies and witches as later based upon the idea that both believed in the dance and circle. So it's come from fairy circle to witch's circle for some strange and wonderful reason. But that's as much as I found out, my friend. I'm sorry I haven't helped you very much, but that's
all right. I'm sure with all the mushrooms around there, I'm sure that's the reason why everybody was dancing.
Yeah, so we'll call them magic for the word that we're looking for. And if you've taken any of these substances, as you may have heard, most bands did in the 60s. If you're a member of a band group, you may have taken some sort of influence to take the Diamonds, Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds by the Beatles.
Exactly.
That's what influenced heavily by drugs.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The Beatles. The Beatles. Great.
Let's look at you look at the lyrics for this song. I'm looking them up so I can use them. I'm only using lyrics, so I'm not using the song. So I know about copyright. You're not allowed to play a song because you might get taken off. Blah blah blah. Been there, done that. Anyway, lyrics. Picture yourself in a boat of a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Tangerine trees, eh? Sometimes somebody calls you and you answer slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Yes, I think we're going. We know where it's going now. Singapore flowers of yellow and green towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes. She's gone. Lucy with the sky of diamonds. Lucy the sky of diamonds. Lucy the sky of diamonds. Oh, it carries on and on like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Shrooms.
But you can gather from most of the beginning of the lyrics, as I say, when you say tangerine trees and marmalade skies, and cloud. I mean, it's good rhyming. I'll give them that. They're very good at rhyming because they got tangerine trees, marmalade skies rhymes, and then they got a girl with kaleidoscope eyes. So that's obviously a good bit of lyric writing. Well, obviously they had a good combination between Lennon and McCartney.
Yeah.
Some people say they prefer Leonard, some people say McCartney. So hey.
I love the Beatles. I know. I tried to. My granddaughter. I played her some of the Beatles, and she's like, "Papa, that's old." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah,
but it's
I'm not listening to that, Papa. I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is really good, man. You're going, who? I listen to music. I'm listening to music and I go, who the bloody hell's that? I've never bloody heard of him in my life.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. Now, anyone you mentioned that I'm a cartoonist. Well, I help do a cartoon, as you said earlier, and the site is called www.gonzo, as in GONZO, weekly.com. And they describe themselves as it's an alternative magazine. And here it goes. This is the nearest you are going to get to a post-weekend colour supplement from the Gonzo Weekly team. Each week we'll go through the best bits of the week before. If ain't any, we'll make some up, or simply make up excuses and leave You can tell the editor once did contract work at the News of the World, can't you? The weekly magazine is free and remains so. It's published by Gonzo Mentor Media in conjunction with CSF Publications, or the other way round. We're actually not sure. This is quite simply the best magazine you'll ever find, but that is edited by a bad bloke with a small orange cat and produced from a tumble-down potato shed, the outskirts of a tiny village that nobody's heard of in Devon. In fact, it's published with Gonzo Mentor Media, probably the grooviest record company in the known universe. It's merely an added bonus. So there you are. You got the feel of what the magazine's all about. Alternative kind of music, bits of books, bits of stuff about other. If you're into very alternative music, you'll like the magazine. I highly recommend it. It's a thoroughly good read. I mean, obviously, I'm saying that because I'm the cartoonist at the back, but hey, he's a friend of mine, and why shouldn't I mention his stuff?
Well, I'll look it up. Be happy to. Well, seeing how we're running out of time here, I'll hit you up with a couple more questions if you're all right with that.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go. Ready, steady, go.
Well, what's your opinion on people claiming to be psychics and having psychic abilities?
I've talked to a few psychics, and there's one I talked to that was very, very close to something. I don't know how she knew it because I know my feeling that some can cold read you. Because it's easier nowadays to find out information about someone. As you know, you can look up your name, they can look up information about you, they can look up my name, find information about me. So you can find out the basics, but stuff that you've never talked about. And if they say something like that, yes, I thoroughly believe them. There are some fakes out there. I'm not going to say there aren't, but the ones I've talked to generally, I have believed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about Ouija boards? I know it's a hot topic in the paranormal world. Have you had any experiences with them or any thoughts on the uses of Ouija boards?
I haven't had any Ouija experience myself because I basically am one of those people who think I'm not going to mess with something like that. I don't want that shit on my door. You can go and play with yourself. Go away. I don't want to know. Because I'm a great believer in don't muck about with something you don't know about. I mean, obviously the myth has grown up because I think that, if I'm right, the Ouija board was created during the Civil War as a game originally. And then because of the Civil War and people losing a lot of lives, I know it was a very bloody battle. I think people adopted it as a way of communicating with the dead. I'm not too sure if I got that right, but I think there's something along that lines.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've had people that I know of that's played with them and end up pulling something out that they can't get back in, and then they call me and ask me what to do about it, and I'm like, I don't deal with Ouija boards. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to figure it out. That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I wouldn't muck around. Don't muck around with something you don't know. Don't play with the devil, because the devil will play back harder and faster than you ever can.
Yeah, and this one particular person cannot get it in their damn head. When I keep telling them not to mess with it, they'll go back, and then they start seeing dark things and having dark things happen to them. And I'm like, you've got to close it. You got to be able to put the genie back in the bottle, and you're the one who opened it. You got to be the one to close it.
Exactly, my friend.
Well, Mark, seeing how we're just. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you finishing the show?
Well, I was going.
If so,
I was getting ready to ask you. What was your plans for the rest of 2019, do you have any projects that you're working on or anything that you can talk about?
Well, all right. What am I working on now? I'm working on my autobiography called A Diary of an Essex Weirdo, which is basically about a little bit about my life. I'm sure if people want to read about my life, I'm sure there's one reader out there, probably just me. I'll probably write another book eventually. I'm still doing my podcasting. I like to do a little bit of bits and pieces and just basically live my life as I want to live it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way life's supposed to be. What do you have a website or somewhere where people can get in contact with you and get a copy of any of your books?
Yeah, I'm just going to look it up now because I should have had it prepared earlier, as they say in most shows. This is one I prepared earlier. I'm just waiting for my fire tablet to fire up. Get the joke? Or boom. And it goes. It's always technology. Never goes fast enough when you're trying to. This is technically what they call the trade dead air. Why do they call it dead air? Because there's nothing there. Da-dum.
Well, I know I've had a great time with you being on the show. It's been great, man. I appreciate you calling in. And I'm sorry. Go ahead. You tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
Right, they can get hold of me. Right, right, they can get hold of me on Podbeam. I am on Podbeam. I'm under the Mark Antony Rains podcast station. I am on Smashwords. You look up Smashwords, look up the name Mark Antony Rains, I am there. All my books are 99 cents. I'm sure most people out there can afford it. All you have to do is look up Smashwords, put in the name Mark Antony Rains, I come up, and you'll see on my profile, I have at the moment the Freddy the Freak Horror Host, Stories, Curse, Just a Nightmare, Time Traveling as We Are Existing, and I have much, much more. Because if I go to my profile, I've got some more books out there, which I cannot find at the moment. Anyway, you can find me on Smashwords. I'm out there. I'm also on Barnes and Noble at the moment. My Just the Nightmare book is out there, available for 99 cents. I have got on Blogger. Look me up. I'm called Ghostman. I'm on a show called The Ghostman Show on albionradio.com. I'm on He Saith on the Kingdom's Influencers broadcast. And I write lots of stuff on Facebook, where I have two accounts. I've got a spam account. Yes, it is a spam account. I admit that. And people are going to say, how can you admit it's spam? Because, hey, that's what I said it is. And that is called Freddie Mark Antony Rains Spam. I'm not Oi, as in N-O-Y. And my real name, Mark Antony Rains, as well. Why did I set out a spam account? Well, why not? And people say, you can't admit your spam. Of course I can admit a spam. I don't care. And I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, you name it, I'm out there somewhere. And so, just as I say, just look up Mark Antony, as A-N-T-N-O-Y, not T-H. And why did I get the name Mark Antony? Well, my mum was a great fan of the film Cleopatra and fancied the pants of Richard Burton.
That's what I figured. I did when I told my wife that I had Mark Antony Rains coming on. She's like, Mark Antony? I'm like, yes, somebody must like Cleopatra movies. Or movie.
Yes, it was true, yes. You got that correct, my friend. Now, how do you normally do your sign-off? Because when I do my podcast show, I do like a unique sign-off. Like, I always say to my guests, hey, what would your unique sign-off be? So you can do yours, and I'll do mine.
Okay, the way I do mine is I just tell everybody have a good night, good weekend, and who I'm going to have on for next week, and then I play some music from the end of the show, and it's Charlie Chaplin, the greatest speech ever. That's how I sign off.
Well, mine's just slightly a little bit different. Are you ready, Rodney, for your unique sign-off as we go?
Okay, you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. I have been on the show with Rodney's, and it's been within the chaos. Yes, we have created chaos on this show. It's amazing how you find out me, Mark Antony Rains. I'm the one you want to be. You look at my books, you look at me. You know who I am. I podcast, I do most things. I am a cartoonist and more than that. I've been on the show, and John Rodney's enjoyed me. I think he has anyway, if that's that. I would like to think I can sing as I say goodbye to you, my friends in the America of USA. Goodbye, America, and thank you for listening to me on the Within the Chaos with Rodney. I forgot his last name because I'm an idiot. And he's probably going to go, I'm not going to cover this show now because he's forgotten my last name. By the way, Rodney is appearing on Mark and on the Hosting the Mark show, which is part of the Mark Antony Rains podcast station. He's going to appear on my show. So there I can twist the roles around. But my show's only an hour long, but not 2 hours long. So he's only got to be on there an hour. And I have no adverts, so there.
That was awesome. Thank you. And my last name is Shortridge.
Thank you. I'll get it right. Thank you for Rodney Shortridge on Within the Chaos. You've been listening to me, Mark Antony Rains, and Rodney Shortridge on the show. Go out and listen to him. He is the #1 show on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh,
and don't forget Mark Antony Rains as well. Bye.
Oh, that was awesome. Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming on the show. Hey, like I said, I ain't got nothing but respect for you, and I'd like to have you come on the show anytime you like.
That's what I think, my friend. I hope you've enjoyed my company. I hope I've hope people have listened. At least you might get one listener. Well, me, I'll play it back. I'll access your show. And can I have your permission to put the show I've done with you today on my podcast station?
Oh, you sure can. What I do, I download the show, and then I put it up on my Within the Chaos YouTube channel.
Yep. Is that okay to do that?
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's fine.
Fine, as long as you don't mind. I always like to ask permission first, because I'm British, and we're very polite.
Yeah, I ask permission too, and I always ask everybody. I let everybody know once I get everything downloaded and stuff. I send all the information to my guests, and also I put it on my Facebook pages.
Okay, my friend. Well, I'm sure that you have to go off and do your commercial now, because you've obviously near your time that you're running out.
Yep, I sure do.
And I'd like to thank you for that. And thank you for letting me be your guest. I hope people know who I am now. If they've never heard me before, they're probably going to listen and think, what a loony. But hey, I'm eccentric, I'm British, and that's what we are.
Well, sir, I appreciate it. It's been a great show, and you have a great morning. And like I said, doors always open anytime you want to come on. You're always welcome.
Thank you, my friend. Have a good night, good morning, and goodbye to everyone listening. And may your God be with you, as they would say somewhere in the universe.
Goodbye. You have a good
Goodbye.
one. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. That was a great show. Great show. I want to thank Mark Antony Rains, again, for coming on the show. Have nothing but respect for him and all the jobs that he's doing. Again, we welcome him back anytime. Next Thursday night, August 22nd, our special guest will be internationally best-selling author John Kendall. I know I'm tearing his last name up, but I apologize. I'll get it right. Where we'll be discussing Bigfoot. So everyone have a great weekend. Have a great night. And everyone be safe and nothing but love. That's it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone that took the time to listen in. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vibe Radio Network and to Ryan for putting up with us. Also to all the first responders and our men and women in the armed services. Thank you for your service and the sacrifices that you and your families make every day to keep our great nation safe. Tune in next week to another exciting show starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone can go to our Facebook page Within the Chaos, and don't forget to like our page to see upcoming guests along with past shows, postings, or you can also go to my website at www.blackdiamondps.org or blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. Also, we have a YouTube channel, so go to YouTube, look up Within the Chaos for past shows. Thanks again. Until next week, everyone have a safe weekend and have a good night. And love you all. Be careful out there.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. Those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!